Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We've got some incredibly practical, totally biology-based strategies to unpack today. You know that feeling when your alarm goes off and literally before you even open your eyes, your heart is already racing? Yeah. For so many of us, mornings can feel like an absolute shock to the system. You wake up already buzzing with tension, maybe even a little sense of dread, long before you've actually had a chance to check your phone or pour that very first cup of coffee. Well, if that sounds familiar, you are absolutely not alone. And today, we're going to learn exactly how to fix it.
So, what's actually going on here? Why do we wake up so tense? Well, it's essentially the result of a hijacked nervous system. Your body is basically stuck in this biological alert mode. It actually thinks there's a threat, even when you're just laying there in bed. But here's the really empowering part. You don't have to just accept this as your normal. We can actively interrupt this morning stress loop. We can give our nervous system a few solid moments of actual safety before the day demands anything from us.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, the morning stress loop. Second, the vagus nerve reset. Third, a 6-step morning routine. Fourth, a 7-day action plan. And finally, overcoming common roadblocks.
Let's dive right into Section 1, the morning stress loop, the biological culprit. We really need to understand what's happening behind that morning dread so we know exactly what we're up against.
Think of your nervous system as having two main gears. On one hand, you have the fight or flight state. That's the stress loop keeping you tense. Now, that mode is great for survival, but it is definitely not what you want for starting a peaceful Tuesday, right? On the other hand, you have the rest and digest state. This is your body's built-in calming system. This is where safety lives. It's the exact state you need to be in if you want to think clearly and focused. So our goal in the morning isn't just to ignore the stress, it's to actively flip the switch and turn that calming system on.
Which brings us to part 2, the vagus nerve reset, basically our biological switch. To move from stress to safety, we need a mechanism. And this right here is the absolute hero of our explainer today.
The crucial piece of the puzzle here is the parasympathetic system. That's just the branch of your nervous system that slows your heart rate down, deepens your breath, and helps you feel genuinely calm enough to think. But how do we actually turn it on? That's where the vagus nerve comes in. Think of the vagus nerve like a direct, high-speed hotline from your body to your brain. When we stimulate it, it sends an immediate text message to the brain saying, "Hey, we're safe down here," which instantly activates that calming parasympathetic system.
Now, I know you might be thinking, this sounds super complicated or like it's going to take an hour out of your day, but look at this number, 5. That is it. It only takes 5 minutes of targeted practices to completely change the tone of your entire morning. Just 5 minutes to stimulate that nerve, lower your anxiety, and send that powerful signal of safety straight to your brain.
All right, moving to part 3, the 6-step morning routine for a gentle start. Now, I'm actually going to slow my own pace down a bit right here, just to kind of model that physiological calm we're aiming for. Take a breath, drop your shoulders a little, and let's get into it.
So here is the complete 6-step morning playbook. We start off by staying horizontal, then we move into a cool water reset, add some humming, physical grounding, a warm beverage, and finally we end with intention. Every single one of these steps is meticulously designed to systematically signal safety to your body. Let's just break them down one by one.
Step 1 actually happens before you even sit up in bed. Just stay horizontal for a second, place one hand on your belly and the other on your heart. Just notice which hand is moving more. Try to let your belly rise just a tiny bit more on the inhale. Now here's the absolute secret to this step. Soften the exhale so it's noticeably longer than your inhale. Why? Because a slow exhale is a literal, mechanical signal to your vagus nerve to slow your pulse down and just quiet that inner alarm. Okay, step 2 is the cool water reset. When you do finally get out of bed, go splash your face with some cool water or even just press a damp, cool cloth to your cheeks and eyes for a few seconds. This cold stimulation activates the vagus nerve branches right near your face, triggering what biologists call the mammalian dive reflex. It's totally fascinating. It acts like a biological circuit breaker that rapidly switches your body out of fight or flight and interrupts that stress loop incredibly fast.
Step 3 might honestly be my favorite. Humming or low singing. Just pick a tone and hum quietly to yourself for about a minute. The vagus nerve actually runs right through your throat and your chest. Because of this, physical sound vibration literally massages and relaxes the nerve. And hey, you can do this softly while walking to the kitchen or while you're in the shower. It all counts.
Next up, we're combining steps 4 and 5 into a physical grounding experience.
Stand up slowly, maybe do a quick stretch or sway side to side. Press your feet firmly into the floor and really feel your weight being supported. This tells your body, I am here, I am now, and I am safe. Then, grab your morning tea or coffee, but hold the mug with both hands. Feel the warmth. Take a slow inhale before taking a sip, and a nice long exhale after. This really simple, mindful rhythm totally anchors you in the present moment. And finally, step 6. End with intention. Before you open a single email, before you even think about checking social media, put your hand back on your heart and quietly say, I begin this day with calm in my body and clarity in my mind. Give your nervous system a chance to actually feel what calm feels like in this moment. By doing this, you are teaching your body how to recognize calm. It makes it so much easier to return to this baseline later in the day when things inevitably get a bit stressful.
All right, part 4, the 7-day action plan, taking small, steady steps. Now, if doing all 6 of those steps tomorrow morning sounds completely overwhelming, don't worry. We're going to build it systematically over a week. To make sure we don't cause any extra stress, we're just going to layer on one simple practice each day. Day 1, just 2 minutes of that belly-heart breathing. That's literally it. Day 2, you add the humming. By day 3, bring in that cool water splash. You just build it up gently until day 6, where you put all the steps together for a grand total of just 5 minutes. And then on day 7, just reflect and journal on how your body is feeling. This little roadmap ensures your nervous system learns safety without any added pressure. Feel free to pause and keep this plan handy.
Which brings us to part 5, overcoming common roadblocks. You know, those inevitable sticking points. Because anytime we try to build a new habit, resistance pops up. Let's proactively tackle some of the doubts you might be having right now, because honestly, they are completely normal.
Let's rapid fire through these. What if my mornings are just way too rushed? Simple. Just do one step. Even 1 single minute of breathing helps. What if I forget? Stick a Post-it on your bathroom mirror that just says, start with your breath. What if I feel completely silly humming to myself? I totally hear you, but guess what? Your body does not care about your performance, it only cares about that physical vibration relaxing the nerve. And lastly, what if my mind is racing 1,000,000 miles an hour while I'm breathing? That is absolutely okay. Let it wander, and then just gently invite your attention back to your breath or the feeling of your feet on the floor. Don't let these totally normal hurdles derail you.
And I really want you to take this next part to heart. If you try this tomorrow and you don't instantly feel like a Zen master, that is completely fine. The vagus nerve learns safety through small, consistent repetition. You are essentially strength training your calm system. Just like you wouldn't expect to walk into a gym and lift a 100-pound weight perfectly on day 1, your nervous system just needs a little time and repetition to build up this brand new muscle of safety.
So I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought. How will your morning shift after just 5 minutes of safety? Seriously, imagine starting your day anchored, clear, and calm, instead of feeling rushed and stuck on high alert. I challenge you to test this routine tomorrow morning. Start with day 1 of the action plan, try that belly-heart breathing, and just experience this biological shift for yourself. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. And hey, here's to a much calmer morning tomorrow.